Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Bearable Bull here. And I got this aggressively average content for you today. And what is going to be one of the most exciting, but also one of the most frustrating videos I've made in a while. We have this from CZ Binance stating Hong Kong banks have started to support crypto. More funds are going to be moving over to Hong Kong slowly but surely. More stable coins are heading over there as well. And we see that Hong Kong's biggest virtual bank will soon allow customers to convert crypto to fiat currencies over some exchanges. As the United States is getting more draconian, more tyrannical, jurisdictions like Hong Kong will eat our lunch. The entire planet is getting on board with crypto regulations and bringing friendly crypto environments to their jurisdictions because they know it's the fourth industrial revolution. Yet, the winners of the third industrial revolution, the United States, the most innovative country on the planet till this point, we want to hinder innovation. That is why I'm going to stress time and time again that this Ripple case is more than just Ripple. It's more than just XRP. This is for the growth of the United States in the next generation. Financial infrastructure. This will be the biggest wealth boom of this decade. And it's not even close. That's why at any given moment, with Judge Torres' decision, everything is going to change. And here, John Deaton gives his analysis from Real Vision on what he expects to come.
According to Ripple, the only way they settle is that, and I don't think it's a matter of how much they pay, the only thing they said that the SEC would have to agree that XRP, ongoing and future sales of XRP, including in the secondary market when I trade it or anyone else does from Coinbase or any other exchange, that those are not securities. And unless there's that agreement or that stipulation made, Ripple will not settle. So I don't see the SEC agreeing to that. That's why I don't see a settlement. I see a settlement after a judgment. So if the judge comes down and she says this or that, or she says there needs to be a jury and this is going to hang on for a couple more years, then maybe the two can get together to come out with some compromise. But at the end of the day, a settlement is just between two parties and doesn't have any precedential effect on other tokens. Ripple's already indicated if they lose, they're appealing to the Second Circuit. And then, of course, it could go to the Supreme Court. And that's when you would get what's called the Ripple test that arguably could replace the Howey test. Or it wouldn't replace it. It would just be the Ripple test applied to digital assets, so to speak.
You see, ladies and gentlemen, this is not just about Ripple. It is about the entire industry. And the biggest players in the crypto industry, despite their hatred towards Ripple and XRP, they want and need Ripple to win. That is the unique position Ripple and XRP are in. John Deaton gives his take on what is going to happen next. We have a couple week window, and despite the failed prediction made for last week, we're getting the best possible analysis we can from professionals in this game. The most likely time for a settlement would come after a ruling by the judge. And at any given moment, we're about to get clarity for the whole industry. That being said though, guys, this, shared by Riz Gary Gensler Resign, was posted by XRP Darren. This clip gives a lot of insight on what Mike Novogratz, someone that holds Ripple equity but hates XRP, has to say, and what he knows as an insider in the industry. But what's most important is what XRP Darren mentions in the back, as it's something that I've covered on my channel, but have to stress yet again.
First piece of information comes from a Twitter space, and I caught Mike Novogratz talking about XRP and Ripples, and what he has to say.
As much as people think I don't like XRP, I'm cheering for Ripple to win that case. Be loud and clear. I want them to win. But I worry about that one, because if we lose that, people are going to think, oh, we're going to lose all the cases. And I think you got to be very careful that, each one of these things is taken separately, and you read the fine print of the ruling. Anyway, I've been talking too long. I'll shut up.
He's been talking too long. He'll shut up. So you usually say that when you have said too much and you're trying to stop yourself from giving out more secrets. Now, what this reminds me of is Charles Hoskinson from Cardano telling everybody that he heard a rumor of what's going on and it's catastrophic for the rest of crypto. So it sounded like Ripple and the SEC have some type of settlement, and it's bad for the rest of crypto because they don't get clarity. And this is kind of what Mike Novogratz is saying. He's saying that you have to be careful, you have to read the fine print, don't overreact, just read the fine print between every single case. And then he tells himself to shut up and he stops talking about it. So to me, Mike Novogratz also heard the same thing that Charles Hoskinson says, and there is some type of judgment that's coming out, that's coming from a settlement from the SEC and Ripple. Now, keep in mind that these VCs, Mike Novogratz said that he holds equity in Ripple, but the XRP, he's anti, right? A lot of these VCs will say they're anti-XRP because they're holding other competing coins. Now, Joel Katz has said they're not going to discount XRP, and that's how VCs work. They try to get an 80% discount off of the coin, and they hold a bunch of them that are locked up, but they try to get it dirt cheap. And they give liquidity, and they get dirt cheap tokens in exchange. So a lot of these VCs were denied by Ripple to get.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot to unpack from that. First and foremost, the increasing probability of a settlement after the judge comes out with her decision is growing. It's very reasonable to believe that numerous insiders have heard rumors that a settlement has been worked out, and in my opinion, that's growing to be more and more of the most likely scenario. But first, what you all need to realize is that the narrative behind Ripple and XRP, the hatred towards it by some of the biggest players in the game, are because Ripple refuses to sell XRP at discounts to VCs. How do you think Solana got so popular? How do you think Terra Luna got so popular? How do you think Ethereum got to where it got to? They sold their tokens to VCs for absolute discounts. And with that came the endorsement of some powerful people. Ripple is not getting these endorsements because they refuse to give XRP at a discount. This is something that has hurt Ripple, but also increases credibility of the token, in my opinion, as XRP was never meant to be bought by VCs so they could dump on retail in the market. XRP was always meant to act as the new plumbing for the financial system. You see, people that Novogratz supports, like Vitalik and Ethereum, they send the wrong message. They believe in the self-righteous crypto narratives, when in reality, Brad breaks down how Ripple and XRP work with the system. That's why they don't have to sell XRP at discounts, because it's going to be so valuable based solely on the complementary role XRP is going to play for government-backed currencies and CBDCs.
Vitalik, one of the founders of the Ethereum ecosystem, he was on a panel at a Ripple event, and the question he was asked was, who's the competition? And he pulled out a $20 Canadian bill and said, this is the competition. I couldn't disagree more. If we go out and say we're going to attack the system or attacking fiat, at the same event we had Ben Bernanke come and speak, and he's like, look, central governments will control M1 money supply. This is fundamental to being a sovereign nation. And so this idea that I agree with Katie, I don't call it cryptocurrency. I refer to them as digital assets. Cryptocurrency suggests I'm going to go to Amazon and buy things with it.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you paid attention to that. Listen closely. We are not going to replace fiat currencies. The governments own guns and control the world. Period. End of discussion. They can print trillions out of thin air. They control everything. They locked down the planet for years and limited travel. This delusion that we, through crypto, are going to replace fiat is crazy. What we can do is invest in cryptos that are going to complement the next generation of fiat so we could get rich and then change the world with our newfound wealth. But too many people are unrealistic about these things. Too many people are self-righteous about things. And because they're thinking with their emotions and not with logic and reason, they'll likely get burned. You see, ladies and gentlemen, despite his anti-crypto stance, Warren Buffett is a winner. He's regarded as the best investor in history. He has stated time and time again, crypto is like rat poison. However, despite that fact, he continues to gain exposure in the midst of the biggest banking crisis on the planet to Ripple partnered institutions. One of his biggest holdings is Bank of America, a known, renowned Ripple partner. And yet again, Buffett is buying more of the Japanese financial stocks. One of the 5 companies is Sumitomo Corporation. And this hits close to home for Ripple, R3, and XRP holders, with Sumitomo's financial arm Sumitomo Mitsui owning approximately 10% of SBI Holdings, the largest outside shareholder of Ripple, and is a big XRP on-demand liquidity advocate. They also own 14% of R3 Japan and have a sizable investment in RippleNet's MoneyTap app. Ladies and gentlemen, more and time again, we need to make the money speak louder than people's words. The money continues to talk in Ripple and XRP's direction. Companies that are directly involved in investing in Ripple and XRP infrastructure continue to get more backing and more investment in it, despite the fact that we're heading into a massive banking crisis, financial crisis, call it whatever you want. Might as well call it an everything crisis. Do you think the most connected people on the planet are going to throw money into these things, especially at this stage of the game, if they didn't know there was massive benefit to it? I invest my pennies next to billionaire dollars so that I, as a consequence, can eventually become a billionaire as well. All of you need to take this and apply it accordingly. And I hope you end up having the same level of confidence they do. Now guys, to cap off this video for today, I'm going to give you all an international perspective and a lifestyle perspective. In my personal opinion, traveling the world and getting accustomed to different cultures is a very big passion of mine. And if you follow me on Instagram at all, you guys know that I travel frequently. In this clip that I'm about to show you and leave you with, they talk about how Dubai is becoming the crypto city of the planet, and I 100% agree. When a jurisdiction is safe, beautiful, people respect the culture, and the regulation is conducive to allow entrepreneurs to thrive, people will come and people will continue to build. And personally speaking, I would say if anyone's interested in moving to what I believe is the most crypto-friendly city on the planet, it might be worth your while. Now I'm going to leave you with this clip explaining to all of you why Dubai is the best crypto city on the planet. And for any of you adventurous types, this may be your wake-up call to move if you'd like. With the US tightening regulation and hindering innovation, it might be a powerful option. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Bearable Bull here. Thanks for tuning in. As always, I appreciate every single one of you. Now I'll be back tomorrow with another video.
Why would I call Dubai crypto capital of the world? Again, I'm slightly biased, but there are multiple reasons. First of all, English is the speaking and working language of the entire UAE. Japan, unfortunately, is a little bit difficult for non-Japanese founders and for non-Japanese companies. The connectivity, we are right in the center of the world, literally. Here's India with their billion users. There's China with their multi-billion of users. Africa and Europe, we're right in the middle of it. We've got amazing infrastructure, be it internet, be it roads, be it places where you live. And I can't think of a better place to live and work. The VC funds are moving into Dubai at a speed I've never seen in my life. We're setting up VC funds, fund managers, at a quite sort of astonishing rate. And this is where entrepreneurs want to be, right? If you've got amazing infrastructure, you've got amazing opportunities, the whole ecosystem is there, the VCs are there, regulations are being passed because you want regulatory certainty. What you don't want is what is happening in the US, regulation by enforcement. This is what you don't want as a lawyer, and this is what you don't want as an entrepreneur. So we've got the regulations. Why would we want to be there?
Why do I hold XRP? Because Ripple's the chosen one to lead the new global digital payment system, and they use XRP. In 2013, the Federal Reserve began looking for faster payments options. 2 years later, an action plan was born and a federal payments task force was created. It included one company focused on crypto, Ripple. In 2014, the World Bank and Better Than Cash Alliance, which includes the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Clinton Global Initiative, and the governments of 32 countries, put out a report called The Opportunities of Digitizing Payments. 1 year later, the Better Than Cash Alliance featured one crypto company on their website, Ripple. Today, Better Than Cash Alliance and all other UN initiatives are focused on a single agenda, the Sustainable Development Goals for 2030. You can see the SDGs logo on Bill Gates' lapel, world-leading companies, the Better Than Cash Alliance website, and on the UN's official exchange, Exchange. What crypto is Exchange officially utilizing for their carbon credit solution? XRP. The world will move to a new international standard for exchanging electronic messages between financial institutions by 2025 called ISO 20022. Who was the first ISO 20022 member focused on distributed ledger technology? Ripple. Who's partnered with over 300 financial institutions including Bank of America, American Express, PNC, Santander, SBI, HSBC, Standard Chartered Bank, Bank of England, India, Singapore, Scotland, Australia, and Indonesia, the largest banks in Japan, Canada, Egypt, the Middle East, United Arab Emirates, Thailand, Morocco, Bhutan, South Korea, Brazil, and Latin America? Ripple. Who is a former employee overseeing the Federal Reserve? Ripple. A former employee overseeing the world's largest asset manager, BlackRock's digital asset division? Ripple. Leading Australia's CBDC effort? Ripple. Who hired a former Treasury of the United States? Ripple. 2 former Federal Reserve attorneys to their board? Ripple. 2 former Clinton and Obama advisors, former Minister of Defense and Economics of Germany, former business director at Swift, former Swift board member, former CFO of PayPal, former head of the DTCC, former chief business officer at Uber, former VP of Amazon, and former SEC chair on their legal team? Ripple. Who's a member of the Digital Pound Foundation, Digital Dollar Project, Digital Euro Association, Mojaloop, IMF's high-level advisory board on fintech, Hyperledger Blockchain Consortium, Open Payments Coalition, Faster Payments Council, Global Payments Steering Group, Cross-Border Working Group, International Association for Trusted Blockchain Applications, Crypto Climate Accord, University Blockchain Initiative, World Wide Web Consortium, and a featured partner of the World Economic Forum with 3 members of their team directly listed on the WF website? Ripple. Now, does Ripple and XRP sound like they're going to disappear, or do they sound like they're part of a much bigger plan? You decide.